Alright, ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Monday Night Raw. I do apologize first and foremost before we get into the video. I had recorded everything previously about a week ago, and at the time of this recording, and all the audio did not carry over. So this is me redoing it after finding the motivation to sit down and do it again. So, with that said, let's get into it. Ladies and gentlemen, we start off with a tribute to Kurt Angle, where the whole Raw locker room comes out and thanks him for everything. He gives a positive address congratulating them on their Raw victory and tells them he made the new GM promise to reward the winners of Survivor Series. However, he wishes them the best of luck. This new GM he wishes them the best of luck with this GM because he is no nonsense. Angle leaves and out comes Brock Lesnar, the Hall of Famer, the new general manager. Lesnar states that he typically lets his fist do the talking, but Kurt Angle made him promise them rewards. He made him promise that he'd give him rewards. Sorry, that's poorly phrased. So this will be the one and only handout that he is willing to give. For Team Raw, he states that Kevin Draco and Samoa Joe will get a tag team title shot tonight. Adam Cole and Kevin Owens argue, saying they deserve the night off because they won their tag team match. Lesnar agrees and instead books the match for Mayhem. Ace then requests a United States title match at the Royal Rumble, and Lesnar's willing to oblige to this. And then lastly, Adrian Guerrero requests a world title shot next Raw, and everyone looks at him in shock. He says that he doesn't know how much time he has left in this company, and this might be the last dance he'll ever have when it comes to the world titles. Tonight, though, he's got business with Roman Reigns. Lashley is rewarded, the United States champion, with having the night off before Mayhem, and also given the option to pick who will be the #1 contendership match in the main event. For his championship, Scott Cole gets to choose his Mayhem and Royal Rumble opponents as a reward for the win at Survivor Series as well. With that, Lesnar dismisses them all to start off the show with Samoa Joe and Bobby Roode, who have some issues. So we get into the opening bout. Samoa Joe versus Bobby Roode, with Kevin Draco in Samoa Joe's corner and Gallows and Anderson in Bobby Roode's corner. The winner is Samoa Joe with the Coquina Clutch. Afterwards, Samoa Joe and Draco stand tall, but the Undisputed Era come out to help or surround the ring with the OC. I mean, that's 6 guys while Bobby Roode is laid out in the middle of the ring. Samoa Joe and Kevin Draco stand back to back, and just when all 6 of those guys surround the ring total, Roman Reigns and the Usos come out to make it a 5-on-6. It turns out into an all-out brawl between the two warring sides, but ultimately it spills to the backstage area as security tries to gain control and order over everything. Why Roman Reigns and the Usos help? I don't know. I guess we'll have to find out in the future. Now, after that, Adrian Guerrero is interviewed and asked about the fight with Roman Reigns. Guerrero states that he is good friends with Yuri Yamashita and doesn't appreciate the disrespect toward him by Ty Noble. Guerrero realizes that Roman Reigns probably is doing this or showing support toward Ty Noble because of Paul Heyman, who wants to help Noble. So tonight, Guerrero will beat some respect into Roman Reigns. Then he'll beat some respect into Ty Noble. The war with the Yamashitas might be over, but Guerrero isn't done with Ty Noble yet. Following that, we have the Hardcore Championship. Tyson Cage, the newly crowned 2-time Hardcore Champion, takes on Chris Jericho, Matt Hardy, and MK, one half of the team with the Assassin, but Tyson Cage will retain as it was in vain. The terrible puns. Anyways, afterwards, Tyson Cage taunts Pete Dunne, who comes out with Wade Barrett. Tyson Cage claims he's unstoppable, but he's 1-1 against Pete Dunne. He wants to settle the score, but he wants the fight to happen out of Pete Dunne's brand. Next episode on SmackDown Live, it's going to be on his territory, the Coalition's territory, SmackDown Live. This is where Pete Dunne and Wade Barrett accept the match, and Cage states that this will be the death of Pete Dunne's push. It cuts backstage to Slim Reaper, who is being interviewed, and asked about if missing Survivor Series provided him any clarity or made things worse with his relationship with Road Killer. Slim reassures the interviewer that missing Survivor Series actually gave him some time to see his family and to try and talk things out with Rogue. He still doesn't appreciate his friend's doubt in his abilities, but Slim understands that it's coming from a good place. He spent time with his family and realized what he values the most in life. He came back in Season 7 to make up for the lost time in the ring that he had with Rogue. But he realizes the most important thing to him is back home. So he's come to the decision that his time is winding down in the ring. Despite not being what he was in his prime, Rogue and his opponents. Or he's willing to give Rogue and his opponents everything he has till the end of his contract. The interviewer asks how Slim and Rogue will make it to WrestleMania, and Slim Reaper smiles and says that they'll be going back to their roots, which is by winning the Raw Tag Team Championships. Not tonight or at Mayhem, but the winners at Mayhem best watch out, because they're coming for the tag team titles. After that, we have Adrian Guerrero taking on the big dog Roman Reigns, or should I say the new head of the table. And Adrian Guerrero, after putting up a hell of a fight, falls to Roman Reigns. Roman Reigns celebrates and tells the Usos that this is what he thought they'd be, dominant and on top. If they trust his leadership and are patient, then he will bring them fruitful results. Paul Heyman smiles as Roman Reigns addresses him as the wise man, but asks Heyman if Noble is truly a worthy investment. Heyman's smile fades, and he assures Roman that Noble is a star in the making. The Usos show their disapproval against Noble, but Roman tries to silence them. Just then, Adrian Guerrero blasts the Usos from behind with a kendo stick, and they fall into Roman Reigns, who spills out of the ring. Adrian Guerrero then super kicks Paul Heyman and dives out of the ring as the Usos rally to their feet. Guerrero says he's got a Universal title match to worry about next Raw, but he'll deal with Roman after he's champ. Roman glares at Adrian while checking on Paul Heyman. Things are heating up. Oh, before that, now you got spoiled on the next match, but that's besides the point. EC3, Orton, and Coldly all enter a room with security lining it. Nathaniel walks in and sits at the table across from them. Brock Lesnar brokers this deal and makes it clear that these two men are signing a contract tonight. They will fight in Mayhem. The winner will get to enter the Royal Rumble match. The other will be barred from the pay-per-view. Orton butts in and challenges Nathaniel tonight to a match first. Nathaniel agrees, but EC3 and Coldly are barred from helping him. EC3 promises that he'll beat down the drug addict and get revenge for Nathaniel being the reason why he lost the Universal title. Nathaniel smiles and says he might have been using PEDs in the past, but tonight he'll beat Orton naturally, defeat EC3 clean, and then will win the Royal Rumble to headline WrestleMania. EC3 vows that won't happen before signing the contract. Nate says that this will be the last nail in the coffin of EC3's career, and Nathaniel will prove to the world he's a main eventer before signing and leaving for his match with Randy Orton, which we go to next. Randy Orton versus Nathaniel. Nathaniel picks up the win. Afterwards, he grabs a chair and smashes Orton's throat with it before EC3 and Coldly charge into the ring. Nathaniel dips out of the ring and vows to decimate EC3 at Mayhem. The Undisputed Era and Kevin Owens afterwards are interviewed about the bloodline helping Draco and Joe earlier in the night. Adam Cole says he doesn't care why they helped, but they are getting in a war that they have no business being part of. Draco and Joe will fail in winning the Raw Tag Team titles at Mayhem, and the Undisputed Era will show why they are the best tag team ever. He's then asked about Blake Daniels and if they plan to use the numbers game against him. Instead of answering, Kevin Owens attacks the interviewer and powerbombs him through a table backstage before he says that that's what he'll do to Blake Daniels if he comes back. Duly noted. And then the main event, a fatal 5-way #1 contendership for the where the winner will face the United States champion Bobby Lashley at Mayhem, and the winner of said match will actually beat the headhunter Cold Lee by pinning Braden McLaughlin as everybody ganged up on him, and then Cold Lee was the one that managed to pick up the win. Cold Lee celebrates. Regardless, after that, Triple H comes down to the ring to suspend Shawn Michaels, but HBK appears on the big screen in Triple H's house, no less. Stephanie isn't home, but the kids are with HBK, who paid off their babysitter for the night. Shawn Michaels states that he wants to fight Triple H at Mayhem. If HBK wins, he gets Jack McKay at the Royal Rumble. If Triple H wins, then Shawn Michaels will give up this charade and focus on helping Triple H win the board's favor back. Ooh, stuff we're not seeing, I guess. Triple H agrees to the match and asks HBK to leave his home. HBK smiles and willingly agrees before wishing Triple H the best of luck at Mayhem. The final segment, though, will be Scott Cole coming out after that and says that it isn't an easy decision on who he wishes to face. However, he has an idea upon looking inward on what he wants. Just then, the lights go out. The flock of buzzards screeching can be heard, and then Bray Wyatt and Aleister Black appear. When the lights come up, they're flickering, and it's like the power was knocked out, but is struggling to turn back on effectively. Scott Cole asks why Bray Wyatt attacked him, and Bray snaps back and asks that Scott Cole, or says that Scott Cole is a brother in spirit. They've gone through hell together. Scott was there when he lost to Luke, but now he's put the Universal Championship over caring for Black and Bray. Scott tries to explain, but Bray Wyatt interrupts, saying that he wants to be world champion too, but it is clear where Scott's goals are, and those goals are without Bray and Black. Bray starts to say that he wants to challenge Scott Cole, but Aleister Black grabs the microphone and stares at Bray Wyatt, who nods and steps aside. Aleister Black steps up and asks Scott Cole to pick him for Mayhem. Aleister has waited a long time to show people what it's like to be in the House of Black. Scott looks at Bray before reluctantly agreeing to the match, but not before warning Black that he won't hold back. Aleister Black smiles and says regardless, Scott will fade in the shadows of the House of Black before landing the Black Mass, dropping Scott Cole. Black sits down next to Scott Cole before Bray Wyatt crawls over and holds Scott Cole's head, pleading for Scott to repent his sins. But just before you think the show comes to an end, the lights go out again. And when they emerge, Samuel Armstrong is standing behind all three men. Aleister Black stands up and gets in the face of Armstrong as Armstrong stares right at Bray Wyatt as the show comes to an end. We now head to SmackDown after a cliffhanger on Raw. Welcome everyone to SmackDown Live. I swear to you, these three shows are segment heavy with stories. Regardless, we kick off with Tyler Wolf and the Cabinet standing in the ring with the locker room around him. He's pissed off and dishes out punishments. Bruce Bennett and Jeff Sanders of the Cabinet will fight Kyle O'Reilly, Rey Mysterio, and Almas in a 3-on-2 handicap match instead for failing him tonight, or at Survivor Series, not tonight. Bruce Bennett tries to argue about Webster's actions, especially wiping him out and almost KOing him, potentially concussing him. Regardless, Tyler orders them to sedate Webster further from now on. Interesting indeed. That's not something you want to admit on live TV. He spices up Davis King's match that Arlington set up and says that if Davis King wins, he gets to choose between fighting in the final 10 in the Rumble, or challenge for the WWE Championship at the Royal Rumble. He also congratulates Tyler Bate and says that Bate gets the night off with the Cruiserweight Championship rematch with Dar, and then the Christian Coalition will pay for Ricochet and Christian's failures. Their tag team championship match for the SmackDown Live tag team titles is delayed till after Mayhem and will be contingent upon Christian. If he can beat his opponent at Mayhem, and Tyler Wolf will get to choose his opponent. Elias and CM Punk state and he turns to Elias and Punk and states that they will defend the tag team titles tonight against opponents of his choosing. As we head to the opening bout, Pete Dunne versus Tyson Cage to settle the rivalry, this trilogy. And Pete Dunne becomes a two-time hardcore champion, defeating Tyson Cage. Afterwards, Wade Barrett jumps into the ring and celebrates with Pete Dunne. Ricochet comes down, but Christian, who follows, stops him and Cage from getting back in the ring and fighting, and he says this isn't worth it. It's not worth a fight. Dunne taunts the Coalition as they leave, but Christian keeps repeating that they've got bigger fish to fry than to worry about a mid-card act. Backstage, it is shown that during the match, Matthew Webster, who is, rechristened in his name and his mind by the cabinets, he was Max Webb. Regardless, he beat down Andrade Cien Almas backstage. Webster has a blank, emotionless stare afterwards and walks away. Doctors check on Almas, and Rey Mysterio and Kyle O'Reilly show up. Tyler Wolf does as well and decides that he'll give them a replacement from the locker room. If they have any complaints, then he'll pick an even worse idea for Kyle O'Reilly's first labor next SmackDown. Kyle and Rey are then ordered to the ring by Tyler Wolf before he tells the doctors to take Almas out of the parking lot. Following that, Noam Dar is pissed off in the locker room after being denied his rematch tonight against Tyler Bate. He yells at the Dynasty and he leaves. Class Bar goes after him and tells Aiden English to call Ryan Trapp to hopefully calm him down. Following that, we have the tag team match, the 2-on-3 tag team match, where unfortunately for Bruce Bennett and Jeff Sanders, Kyle O'Reilly, Prince Metallico, and Rey Mysterio pick up the win, as Prince Metallico is the man picked to assist them. However, after they celebrate, Tyler Wolf comes out. And he says that Kyle O'Reilly's confidence is at an all-time high, but not for long. His first labor next SmackDown will be to face Prince Metallico and Rey Mysterio, his tag team partners tonight. Their contracts will be terminated and won't be allowed back in the company if they show remorse toward Kyle O'Reilly. Tonight was Kyle's easy day off. From now on, Kyle is going to walk through hell if he wants to survive the 3 labors. Following this segment... Sorry, I forgot to move over. Regardless, following this segment, McIntyre comes out next, and it says he'll explain his actions for turning on Alex Carter. He was once a feared main event star, Money in the Bank winner, and the man that crushed Blake Daniels' dreams, world title dreams. Since then, he's been regulated, demoted, and cast aside as a buff tag team meathead. As much as he enjoyed the tag team run, they failed at breaking the record. Alex Carter is a small guy just holding him back. While Drew is an accomplished singles competitor, Alex is still a weak, inferior talent who won't ever ascend past being a tag team guy. Drew throws down the offer right then and there for Alex to fight him in a match if he wants to get even. Anytime, any place, anywhere. If Alex wants to throw down at WrestleMania, they can too. Do it there. Alex Carter's theme music hits, but he comes from the crowd and wastes no time diving in the ring. He was armed with a chair in hand, but Drew McIntyre just casually leaves the ring looking like he was bored. Drew says that his offer was a match, but he won't partake in a pointless scuffle to appease these fans. He turns to leave and Alex Carter bolts out of the ring after him. Drew pretends to run away but lands a claymore as Alex Carter brought the chair up over his head. Alex Carter goes down. Drew then sets the chair down and lands a future shock DDT on top of it. Alex Carter is bleeding from the head as Drew McIntyre plants his foot there before raising the chair over his head, saying that he will stack bodies from here to reach the championship. So then we head to Davis King versus Seth Rollins. Yeah, Seth Rollins is the mystery opponent that James Arlington chose, and Davis King picks up the win. Afterwards, Bate and Arlington come down to the ring. James Arlington offers out his hand, and Davis King takes it. Arlington smiles and says that they can now be a family again before embracing him in a hug. Davis hugs them back, and they all leave together. Backstage, Arlington is interviewed with Tyler Bate, and the interviewer asks Tyler Bate if he's prepared to battle Noam Dar. By the way, as a side note, Davis King just keeps on walking. He completely leaves the frame. But before Bate can answer that question, Wolf cuts in. He congratulates Tyler Bate and says that he won't defend the belt tonight, but on NXT instead. Arlington asks about who his contender is for Mayhem, and Wolf snaps back, saying Arlington will not question him. Arlington gets in his face, and Tyler just smiles and points out that Arlington may be the top guy and have all this power. But in this business, there's only one man with true power, and that's the general manager. Arlington glares at Tyler Wolf as they leave. So, Noam Dar versus Tyler Bate on NXT instead. After this segment, Davis King is found to be finds Class Bar talking with Noam Dar, and Davis asks if he can speak to Class Bar alone. Class Bar considers this and nods to Noam Dar, who leaves, gives them some space. Davis says that he still harbors anger for what Class Bar did to his brother Matt King, but he has a proposition to potentially help himself let go of that resentment and start to heal. Class Bar raises an eyebrow and asks what he had in mind. Davis looks at the cameras and says that he's not going to say it with prying ears. Class Bar agrees, and they walk away to converse. Following that, we have the semi-main event for the SmackDown Tag Team titles. Cult of Drifters versus the Authors of Pain, and the Cult of Drifters will retain via roll-up as they manage to catch Akam by surprise, and Elias scored the roll-up victory. Afterwards, the Coalition dives into the ring and beats up Elias and CM Punk. Christian states that they did lose a title tonight, but they are stronger than ever. As of tonight, he has been a champion for 29 episodes, which is a record for the belt. Longest Intercontinental Championship title reign of all time. It also is the 8th longest championship reign in Universe Mode history. It doesn't matter if it's Prince, Cole Quinn, an old friend, or any other surprise that Tyler Wolf can think of. Christian will retain at Mayhem, and the next SmackDown they will take the SmackDown Tag Team titles away from Cult of Drifters. Backstage, Cesaro is preparing for his fight with Cassius Ohno for the main event, but Tyler Wolf walks in. He states that Cassius Ohno didn't arrive in the arena tonight. Cesaro has two options. Cesaro can forfeit, or he can compete in the WWE #1 contendership match. Cesaro asks who he's facing, and Sante walks into the room. Sante says he's willing to wager his rematch clause for the WWE title to get a second chance at Cesaro, to right the wrong, to change the script, and turn this rivalry into a 1-1 in the series. Cesaro smiles and says that if Sante's willing to wager that, well, then he has to accept the match. Sante promises that Cesaro's first win this season was a fluke before leaving. Cesaro shrugs his shoulders and adds that we'll see about that before it cuts the arena. So here we go. This will be our showcase match for the show, or for this episode. Cesaro versus Sante Guerrero. Winner faces the WWE Champion at Mayhem next. So, ladies and gentlemen, here we go. The main event of SmackDown, a turn of unexpected events. Cassius Ohno backing out of the match. Sante Guerrero stepping up. wanting revenge for earlier this season, and even Tyler Wolf declaring that this will be a #1 contendership match for Mayhem's WWE title match. So the winner tonight will face James Arlington and Mayhem for the WWE Championship. High stakes indeed as Cesaro rolls out of it. Cesaro is currently 1-0 against Sante Guerrero. So for Sante, as he slaps Cesaro, Cesaro counters with an uppercut. Oh wait, Sante taking back control, slap to the face again. Cesaro picks him up for a military press, slam, no! Sante countered into a DDT. So for Sante, it is about getting payback, righting the record, correcting the course of the ship. And for Cesaro, it is a massive opportunity to defeat one of the biggest stars decisively in a 2-0 record, if he can pick up the win, as there's a stiff uppercut out of the Irish whip. Wait, no. Sante counter. Irish whipping Cesaro into the corner. Here we go. Ooh, Cesaro got the knees up. Stiff forearm. Uppercut there. Picks him up for a military press. This time it lands into a gut buster. Cesaro was countered. Sante delivers a backbreaker there, and he goes down. Now, Irish whipping Cesaro, this time connected with a back elbow, step up in securing. Cesaro goes down. Opportunity has come knocking for Sante as he goes for the figure four. He goes for the figure four, and he will cinch it in. Trying to force Cesaro to tap or perhaps wear down the legs. Trying to tear him apart, but no, Cesaro flips it over. He counters it. Beautifully done. Perfectly executed as Cesaro tosses him into the corner. No! Unurinated slam by Sante, who goes up to the top turnbuckles, wasting no time. Here it comes. Phoenix splash. No! Cesaro got the knees up in the nick of time. Well scouted by the Swiss Superman onto the diamond. And now, got him in a chin lock. Cesaro trying to wear down Sante Guerrero. Sante is certainly a man who will use his agility, his explosiveness, like we just saw. And Cesaro looking to shut that down as Sante bounces off the ropes and delivers a powerful kick right to the ribs, dropping down the Swiss Superman. Cesaro also explosive, but certainly has more raw powers. Wait, look at this, a counter into a sunset flip over the ropes into the ring. No, kick out by Sante before the count of one. Now Cesaro turns him around and oh wait, European uppercut there. Cover to win the match. 1.5. So close, but yet so far. As Cesaro now dialing up. Here it comes, looking to put Sante away with a sharpshooter. Drops him down. Twists him over, he's got it cinched in. Sante trying to stay alive. As he will work his way out of it, masterfully done by Sante Guerrero. And here it comes, the Hail Raid spin slam. Cover to put him away. 1.5. He works for the Diamond Splicer, no wait. Cesaro counter drop kick attempt, no. Sante bats it away. Looking for a float over neck breaker, and it will land beautifully right there. And oh, Cesaro the give up. European uppercut as he throws himself at Sante. Here it comes, European uppercut again to win the match. 1, 2. No! Kick out at 2. Oh, Sante kept up as well. Tosses Cesaro to the corner. Back elbow. Step up and securing for the second time. Cesaro stunned for once, twice. Here comes the Pele. Wait, no. Cesaro got him. But body slam right there. The Swiss Superman has an opening. No, wait, Cesaro managed to counter. A little bit of a delay from the inevitable as Cesaro locks in the sharpshooter again. Ladies and gentlemen, Sante goes down. Sante goes down. Oh, but oh, wait, he works his way out of it a second time relatively quickly again. Oh, snapmare right there. Sante taunting away. Feel the momentum. Oh, blockbuster right there. And now, ladies and gentlemen, the most electrifying moonsault in sports entertainment. The People's Moonsault there by the Diamond. 1.5. So away he goes to the middle turnbuckle. Oh my gosh! A 630 off the middle turnbuckle. 1, 2. Kick out at 2. Sante pulling out all the stops. There's no Cesaro countered him. Now tarted the leg. We're making a cover. 1. No, 1.5. Cesaro picks him up. Ooh, takedown there. He has taken firm control this match as Cesaro is taking it to Sante before getting him in another chin lock. Sante has just been shut down here tonight. Cesaro continuing to just gas him out now. We're dropping a knee to the face. And now Cesaro dragging him into the middle of the ring, potentially for something far more devious as he's got him up a waist lock. Slam right there once. Oh, he's got him up again. The core raw power of the Swiss Superman as he goes up for the trifecta. Cover to win the match. 1, 2. Kick out at 2. Cesaro looks at the referee in disbelief. As now he sized up Sante for the end. Here it comes, the sharpshooter again. No! Sante counter. Sante got him in a double underhook. Lands it there. Sante goes for the springboard. Oh, frog splash right there. He's turned it around. Sante has turned the tide. Ladies and gentlemen, all rise. Here it comes. Diamond Splicer on a Cesaro. 1, 2. No. Cesaro kicked out. Sante picking him up. Trying to waste no time. The air raid spin. Oh, slam again. Cover. Hopefully win. 1, 2. No again. As Cesaro stays alive. Sante dropping the elbows across the chest of the Swiss Superman. Lands it beautifully there. Taking off the ropes before getting some extra momentum behind that first elbow. He drops more elbows to the chest. Springboard leg drop right there on a Cesaro. Cover. 1, 2. Kick out at 2 as it has now been Sante's turn to take control. Goes for the arm, but no, wait, Cesaro. Forearm to the face. And no, wait, look for a straight jacket. Oh my gosh, powerbomb, wait, no. Sante desperately getting out of it. Sante desperately gets out of it. Sling blade right there. Goes out to the top rope, to the top turnbuckles, looking to put him away. Sante, Phoenix Splash, right there to win the match. 1, 2, no. So close for Sante. Oh, wait, Cesaro, jaw rattler right there. And a stiff European uppercut there. Stiff uppercut, I should say. Threw his body weight into it, and now Sante is out of it. A submission attempt by Cesaro. trying to make Sante tap or try to at least wear him out. Sante works his way to his feet. Oh, wait, he's rolled up Cesaro to win, to go to Mayhem. 1, 2, to fight for the world title. No, kick out at 2.5. Oh, looking for potentially an RKO, missed it. Knife edge chop, kick to the gut, kick to the back then. Axe kick right there. And oh, wait, Cesaro, shot to the ribs. Oh, he's got him up in a fireman's carry of sorts, slams down Sante. He counters him. Oh, shoulder tackle there before delivering more punishment to the chest of Cesaro with the elbows, softening him up. And before Sante goes for a submission of his own, he has got him. Cesaro's lower back being tortured now. Potentially a tap. Potentially Cesaro will quit. Potentially he will tap, but no, he grabs the legs. Oh, Sante goes down. Tries to get to his feet. Cesaro was up first though. Oh, Cesaro with the uppercut. Sante springboard. Oh, what a kick as he baited Cesaro in. Cesaro, the laceration on his head. King Me lands by Sante to win. Cover 1, 2, no. The opportunity to fight for the world title hangs in the balance tonight in the main event. Who will win? As Sante, spine buster there, off the springboard. They're gonna go for the legs, but no, Cesaro countered. Pop up, European uppercut there. Sante goes down, leg drop there. Oh, and dropping the knee. Cesaro is being busted open, but he's gonna go for the sharpshooter. Sharpshooter. He will, for the 3rd time, lock it in. Cesaro could win the match. Can he do it? Can he do it? Will he make Sante Guerrero tap out? Will he go 2-0 against the Diamond of WWE? Will he immortalize himself, perhaps tonight, and earn a world title shot? As Sante, desperately struggling, fading in the hold, screaming in pain, his legs, his back, getting tortured, set on fire by this pain, this torturous hold. The sharpshooter could result in the end, but no, Sante fended it off. Sante picks him up, turns him around, rolls him up to win the match. 1, 2, no. As always, Sante goes up middle turnbuckle 630 senton bomb again. Oh my gosh, whoa! Holy cow! What a move out of the corner down on a Cesaro, but it only hits a 2. As Sante is resorting to overwhelming offense, locks in a figure 4, pouring everything he has into this, trying to make Cesaro quit, trying to make him tap, trying to make him submit in the middle of the ring. Will he quit? Will he tap out? As Cesaro's turn to be in a dire situation. This is a battle of wills. Who wants it more? Who wants to fight Arlington for the world title? As Cesaro turned it over, got out of it. As Cesaro, oh, it's a slap to the face. Slap to the face again. Sante, oh, gets sent over the ropes by Cesaro. Cesaro countered him. No, Sante countered him. Rolls through, got behind Cesaro. Waistlock. No, Cesaro countered. Tried to turn him around. No, Sante countered. No, Cesaro countered. Stuns him against the ropes, but Sante sends him out of the ring. Oh, shooting star out of the ring. But Cesaro rolled out of the way. Wow. As Wade Sante got to his feet, ties him up under the ropes. Goes up, Sante. Oh, missile drop kick. He's going up for the end. The King Me is here. Will he become the #1 contender? No! An uppercut by Cesaro. Caught him there to win the match, 2, 3, Cesaro will face James Arlington for the world title at Mayhem. Cesaro is 2-0 against Sante Guerrero. Wow! What a fight! What a battle! What a victory for Cesaro! As he gets a monumental win, will it carry over in the world title match? And Mayhem will have to find out as the bloodied and battered Cesaro picks up a monumental win in his career. We could be seeing a man who could become a 2-time world champion in just 2 episodes. As that is your main event. Wow! What a clash between these two. As Cesaro stands tall. Welcome everyone to NXT. We kick off with Will Madison coming out and demanding answers. Mr. Samuel comes out to help provide that and says that there's no footage of what happened. If you don't remember, basically Cole Quinn and Baron Blade were attacked at the end of NXT TakeOver. Regardless, Mr. Samuel goes on to say that whoever did this attack took out security and took the footage. He gives the option for Madison to find a replacement partner in the Dusty Rhodes Tag Team Tournament and even gives him till the semi-main event to decide what to do. Following that, out comes TJ Ballman, who speaks about losing to Ryan Trapp last NXT. He answered the call but failed. Tonight is his redemption, though. The whole world got to see his abilities, so if anybody thinks they can stand up to NXT's true wrestler, then now is the time. And that leads us to TJ Ballman and Drew Gulak. TJ Ballman picked up the win. Following this, Ballman leaves the ring immediately without even celebrating. An interviewer tries to catch up to him, but he doesn't let them ask a question. Instead, he takes the microphone and states that his idol in wrestling is Kurt Angle, who just lost his job in this company. He wanted a challenge to vent his frustrations because nothing hurts him more than watching his idol fall short. He came to NXT to test himself and achieve his goals. From now on, he wants to make it clear to everyone he's taking on all comers. He's not running from anyone. And more importantly, he will show them that there's one true wrestling machine in NXT, and that is him. Afterwards, Madison is backstage pacing with concern. But RJ Taylor walks up. Madison is confused who RJ Taylor is. Remember, Madison arrived after RJ Taylor cut his promo at NXT TakeOver and asks if RJ Taylor is a priest based upon how he's dressed and the book that he holds. RJ Taylor says, no, it's complicated. Madison asks if he's a wrestler, and once again, RJ says, not exactly. However, he's here to offer up a suggestion to Madison. He asks if Madison knows where his partner is, and Will Madison says no. RJ proceeds to give a tip that Cole Quinn and Baron Blade are on a flight to the main roster pay-per-view known as Mayhem right now. Madison asks why RJ Taylor is telling me, or why, and RJ Taylor shrugs his shoulders but suggests that maybe it's wise to look for a partner. Madison asks if Taylor doubts he can do things on his own, and RJ denies that, but suggests that perhaps Cole Quinn, despite being attacked at NXT TakeOver, isn't fully committed to helping Madison because he's moving up to the main roster soon. Madison thanks RJ for his words and proceeds to ask him if he can give him some space. RJ politely bids a farewell and leaves with a visible smirk to the camera. That's sly, dog. I'm kidding. We go on to the next match. Johnny Rivers versus Mike Kanellis. The breakup of the tag team as tension builds between them, and Johnny Rivers picks up the win. Afterwards, He takes a microphone and says that he is undervalued, underappreciated by these fans, and held down thanks to Mike and Maria Kanellis. He was once North American champion. Today, this is the last time you'll see him down in the dirt. Rivers officially states that he quits NXT and is a free agent for the main roster to sign. Following this, we cut backstage. Jack McKay. Jacob Knox and Jackson Wolf arrive in a limousine in suits and ties. The interviewer catches up with them and asks about where they've been since losing to the Ambassadors of Violence. Jackson Wolf cuts them off and asks instead why they were left out of the Dusty Rhodes Tag Team Tournament. Because of one loss to the Ambassadors of Violence? Jackson points out that Haruto has a fractured elbow and Yuri's a retired wrestler. Why do they get a spot? Because a father is politicking his way into helping his son? Jackson says it's stupid and the Ambassadors got lucky. Knox takes the microphone and says they've been gone because of their boss, not Triple H. Their boss gave them months off to recover, recharge, and refine themselves. And that's what they will do going forward. Tonight is their warning to NXT. They are better than ever because they have a secret. A secret that they'll reveal in time. What the secret will be? Well, I guess we'll have to take them at their words and find out when they reveal it. Anyways, we now have Dakota Kai doing an open challenge for the NXT Women's Championship, and Carmella comes out and accepts, but Dakota Kai picks up the win. Following this, Dakota Kai celebrates, and out comes Olivia Falcon, who's returning to interview Dakota Kai. Falcon informs Kai that the target has been painted on her back, and despite Kai being one of the top 3 longest reigning women's champions in Universe Mode history, the women are lining up to face her, including Olivia Falcon. Dakota Kai stares her down and informs Falcon that if she wants a free match for the title, then just ask for it. Falcon says that she knows that Kai has 3 opponents at NXT TakeOver, but what about next NXT? Kai accepts the match and leaves. As she walks up the ramp, Ronda Rousey comes out and stares down her opponent for a moment before Kai leaves. Kai doesn't catch a break, though, as she walks to the back where all 6 High Society members are standing. Angel steps up and vows that either Alice or Angel will be the one to end Kai's time on top. Alice is glancing with concern to Devin before agreeing. Devin Walker, of course, being stared at by David Perez. This won't be addressed yet, but if you remember, he didn't bother helping David Perez when David got eliminated, so David's staring hard at him. We won't address that this NXT show, though. Regardless, Kai laughs and says that it seems that time changes us all. The championship truly destroys friendships, and stares down at Alice, who looks down. Kai turns her attention back to Angel and vows to embarrass High Society's token woman and expose her as a failure. Just then, Mr. Samuel walks up and he informs Kai that Kairi Sane has invoked her rematch clause for next NXT as well. She can either face Kairi Sane or fight Falcon and Sane in a triple threat match. Kai welcomes the challenge and agrees to a triple threat match before leaving. Oh my gosh. Regardless, it is the semi-main event. Will Madison doesn't get a partner. He fights Rush and Benjamin alone, and that will cost him as Rush and Benjamin pick up the win to advance in the Dusty Rhodes Tag Team Tournament. Buzz is pissed off that Cole Quinn wasn't there and tells the interviewer after the match that he's got a plane to catch. Wait, what? Oh no. Well, we could be seeing some drama happen at Mayhem Live. Regardless, following that, Rush and Shelton Benjamin celebrate after they get to the back and state that this is their resurgence back to the spotlight, back to the tag team titles before they leave. Then we cut to the ring, where Bundy officially welcomes back Isaac Steele, who was taken out by Jackson Wilkins, and says that since Next Gen is taken care of, they can focus on the Dusty Rhodes Tag Team Classic after the Rumble. Isaac Steele and Bundy stand in the ring together. However, Next Gen interrupts. Jackson Wilkins walks up and challenges them to a tag team match at NXT TakeOver 53. And if Next Gen wins, they take Isaac Steele and Bundy's spot in the tag team tournament. Steele says no. Steele says there's no way that they're accepting that deal because there's nothing that benefits them. And they leave. Backstage, it shows Mr. Samuel in his office, and Roman Reigns is there. And Roman asks if Ty Noble is here tonight. It's the season 1 anniversary of him winning the BCW title, and if he wants to speak with Ty Noble. Mr. Samuel informs Roman Reigns that Noble requested the night off on his anniversary, and he granted it. Roman leaves the office and calls Paul Heyman. He proceeds to tell Paul Heyman that he knows that Heyman got super kicked, but he needs Paul to call Ty Noble and tell him to show up at Mayhem. They're settling this, or Roman will come find him. This is getting resolved at the pay-per-view. Heyman verbally agrees over the phone, and then we head to the main event. Tyler Bate defending the Cruiserweight title in a rematch against Noam Dar. And unfortunately for Dar, Tyler Bate retains. Tyler Bate goes up to the camera after beating Dar and says that every Cruiserweight is inferior to him and that he's sending an open challenge at Mayhem for any one man to give him a challenge before leaving. Trap afterwards gets in the ring to help up Dar, who pushes him away. Ryan doesn't pursue, and as Dar leaves, Chris Hall dives into the ring from behind and cracks Ryan with a chair. He whacks him with the chair several times before Mac Allen dives into the ring. Chris Hall dips out, not wanting to Chris Hall dips out, wanting to get away from this as fast as possible, and the show ends with Mac Allen helping up Ryan Trapp. As that does it for NXT. Next up, we have Mayhem. I'm going to show you the card, the tag team tournament for NXT, and the stats going into Mayhem. It's going to get crazy, as there's some segments that are set up. Whew. But I hope you all enjoyed this video and these storylines.